Okay, today we're going to look at how you measure a replacement curtain. We got Jerome with us to give us some tips. So Jerome, what do we do?
There's one foolproof way. It's not a mystery, it's not a secret. Anybody can do this. Go to your curtain. Look down at the bottom corner or the top corner and you might find a tag. And the tag is going to tell you the dimensions and what it's made out of.
Well, that's great. Unfortunately, our curtain doesn't have a tag.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. So the other way you do it is just get a tape measure out and you can measure the height pretty easily just by hooking the tape at the top and bringing it to the floor. That's the easy part. To get the measurement on the bottom, lay your tape measure on the floor like this. And you need to pull your curtain out so it's all the way that it normally goes, and you measure its length according to the tape. Now on this particular tape, you can see that this says about 10 feet. So that means that your curtain is going to be 10 feet wide, but you got to remember fullness. Okay, let's talk about fullness to make sure we all are on the same page. What is it? Well, fullness is the extra fabric that's sewn into the curtain that gives it that lushness, the fullness you see. And it's usually measured as a percentage. Commonly, it's 50%, 75%, 100%, and in some instances it'll go bigger than that, but most of the time it's one of those three. What it means is, if you've got 10 linear feet, like we have right here, 50% fullness means that there's actually 15 feet of fabric. It's just that the fullness makes it hang within 10 feet. Now, what do you have? I'll show you. This is how you do it. Follow me. The easiest thing to do is to look at the back of the fabric. All curtains are made out of panels from bolts of fabric. In a very, very rough sense, every completed panel will have a seam like this. And very roughly, that's about 4 feet because the bolt is 54 inches. When you put hems on it and seams, it's close enough to that. So count the number of these. You go from this edge to this panel, and that's 1. And you go to the next one, you got 2. This is the third panel right here. And that would be the fourth panel. So that's roughly 16 feet. So 16 feet, if you remember, we measured 10 on the ground. That's roughly a 50% curtain. And that's all you really need to know to determine the fullness of your curtain that you're replacing. All right, that's pretty much it. It's pretty easy. Just give us the dimensions of the height and the width and the fullness, if you can calculate it, just like we talked about a minute ago. The last thing we need to know is how you need the top finished. There's 2 ways of doing it. Take a look up here. This curtain is on a track. Pretty obvious, huh? So, just tell us, I need to put my curtain on a track or I'm going to dead hang it to a pipe. You let us know and we'll finish the top exactly the way you need it. Piece of cake. Alright, now, if you can't afford to replace your curtains, there's a couple of things you can do, kind of down and dirty. And you've probably already learned that one of your favorite tools in your shop is the roll of gaff tape. Gaff tape is great. If you have one of those wounds in your curtain that's shaped like a big L, use the gaff tape, hold the pieces together, and tape it from the back side. If you try to stitch it, you're going to probably mess it up more. The gaff tape actually works pretty good, and you might be able to even match the color of the fabric. The last trick is this. If your curtain has a big wound on it, and it's on the on-stage side, so everyone's seeing it every time they come in to see a show, and you don't have gaff tape, take this curtain and swap it with the one on the other side of the stage. So now this wound will be on the off-stage side, and you'll have the good side on stage. Now, I guess if they have wounds at both ends, you really need to replace your curtain, so there you go. Thanks for visiting the Light Lab today.